Hey, so what if you could replace your sunscreen, your skin tint, or light foundation in just one product? Well, that is exactly what this Beauty of Joseon's new daily tinted fluid sunscreen claims to do. But does it actually do it? This is what I want to get to the bottom of in this video. I'll talk about if it provides enough coverage, if it looks good on the skin, does it provide good sun protection, and also does it mix well with other skincare products that you might want to use. Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, my name is Olga, and on this channel I review Korean skincare and beauty products to help you decide what is actually worth your money. So today I'm taking a deep dive into the Beauty of Joseon Daily Tinted Fluid Sunscreen. This sunscreen comes in a slim squeeze tube, which I actually really like. This contains 50 milliliters of product. So the packaging is pretty lightweight. It is definitely travel friendly. It's easy to just throw in your purse or a makeup bag, which I really appreciate. The top here just unscrews, and what I really appreciate is the narrow nozzle opening. Because the formula of this sunscreen is very fluid, this definitely helps control how much product comes out. It prevents waste, and you can definitely just direct exactly where you want to apply it on your skin. I would say that you definitely want to shake it up before you use it because this formula is so liquid. You want to make sure everything mixes up really well in there. Now let's talk about the texture, because this is where the product really stands out. The first thing that you will notice is how thin and fluid this sunscreen is. It is much more liquid than your traditional foundation or skin tint. It's also way more liquid than your sunscreen cream would be. So when I first poured it out onto my hand, it almost looked like a serum mixed in with sunscreen. As you can see, there is some tint to it. And when you start blending it into your skin, it blends very easily, spreads out easily. You don't have to put a ton of effort into it. It just kind of disappears into your skin. It feels very lightweight and breathable. It doesn't have a very thick feeling to it like your heavy sunscreens would, but you can definitely feel that it's on your skin. It provides a luminosity, provides a bit of a sheen and a glow. And you can see the side by side. This is my bare hand, and this is the one with the application of the sunscreen. The reason I got interested in this sunscreen is because it claims to be a mineral sunscreen. The formula contains over 20% of zinc oxide, which is that actual filter, the UV filter. But despite that high mineral content, it doesn't feel thick or chalky like a lot of your mineral sunscreens would. There's definitely a little bit of, substance that you feel on your skin, but it's not thick at all. I've applied the sunscreen with a foundation brush, but I think that it does work best when applied with your fingers. It's just way easier to blend it out. It works into your skin way, I feel like, better when you use your fingers as opposed to a sponge or a makeup brush. One thing to keep in mind is that you do have to apply a good amount of this sunscreen in order for it to give you that really good UV foundation and protection. And because this product is so thin, I feel like you really have to be mindful to apply more than you think is enough. Now, as for the finish, Beauty Joseon describes this as having a balanced finish that isn't too matte and it isn't overly dewy. And after wearing it, I definitely agree with that description. It's been on my hand for maybe a couple minutes now, and as you can see, it almost has a velvety feel to it. It doesn't feel or look too dewy. It's not very mattifying. So just a really good balance, and I really do enjoy the feel that it gives to your skin. It's kind of a soft, and velvet is the only word I can think of. That's the feel that you have in your skin. It does give you a natural glow. It doesn't look flat or powdery, but it also doesn't leave me looking extremely shiny. I do want to point out that once that this has more time to set, I would say probably 5 to 10 minutes, this does become that velvety consistency that I was talking about. It does look way less greasy and luminous, and it does take on that, middle ground between a matte and a dewy finish. So It is pretty pleasant to touch. It's not that greasy feel that you get immediately. That could throw a lot of people off if they just try it and don't give it that time to set. So if you do want to wear this on its own, definitely needs about 5 to 10 minutes to really absorb and set, and it does lose a lot of that greasy feel. Now let's talk about the coverage. If you are expecting foundation level coverage, this is definitely not the product. This provides very, very sheer. It says buildable, but I don't think that you can build it up too much, maybe just a tad. It's designed to even out redness and mild discoloration, but I don't think that it does that for me. It's just the thinnest, most sheerest amount of coverage and color that it adds to your skin, but it really doesn't do much to even out skin tone, cover any red spots, or do any real kind of coverage. I would say that it does have maybe that blurring effect. It helps blur uneven skin tone, creates a more polished appearance, but it won't cover blemishes, large areas of pigmentation. They will definitely still show through. And maybe that's what a lot of people want from a daily tinted sunscreen. You just want just the tiniest level of correction. For me, that is not enough. That is something that I need to definitely follow up with foundation and my other skincare products. And again, that is when I ran into some issues with this. Now, as for the ingredients, this claims to be a mineral-based tinted sunscreen that uses zinc oxide as the main active UV filter. It uses about 21-ish% of zinc oxide, which provides that broad spectrum UV protection. My cat is in the back saying hello. Some additional ingredients that this includes is Artemisia capillaris. I'm probably butchering it, but it's supposed to help soothe your skin. It has olive-derived lipids as well that will help support your hydration. It's also made with vitamin E, and generally this formula is fragrance-free. I know a lot of sensitive skin users will appreciate that. I think that the ingredient list is a nice balance between your sun protection, skincare benefits, as well as your cosmetic skincare ingredients that are usually included in your makeup. So I had to come back later in the day and make a note about one of the ingredients in this sunscreen, which is butyl octyl salicylate. This is the second listed ingredient in the ingredient list. This is generally used as something that helps everything blend together. However, this ingredient is very similar chemically to another chemical sunscreen ingredient that is used in a lot of chemical sunscreens. It's not FDA approved as a sunscreen ingredient, so it's not listed in the active ingredient list. However, chemically, it's very similar to a ingredient that's used in many chemical sunscreens. So I think it's worth noting that while this is marketed as a mineral sunscreen, it does have some ingredients that mimic a chemical sunscreen ingredient as well. So you're kind of getting, a little bit of both worlds there. That's important to note, and I think that's also a huge reason for this sunscreen just being more kind of lightweight, not as thick and heavy as some of your purely mineral sunscreens would be. One of the things that I really like about this product is the shade range that it offers. Beauty of Joseon launched this sunscreen in 12 shades. They go from light, medium, and deeper skin tones. The shades are organized by depth and by your undertone, cool, neutral, and warm options. So this is really great, although I don't know how important it is because this provides such little coverage that I feel like whatever shade you put in, it'll just kind of blend into your skin to a degree. But for a tinted mineral sunscreen, this is actually a pretty wide shade selection, I would say. But because the coverage is so sheer, I think that the shades are very forgiving and it could kind of adapt to a range of different skin tones. So even if you don't get the shade that is a perfect match for your skin, you will probably be okay. The shade that I have is LN110. So as for my wear test and the performance that I've experienced on my skin, I would say that I struggled so much with pilling when using this sunscreen. I like to do a fair share of skincare on my skin, even when I do it in the morning to apply my makeup. And anytime I use this with serums, other creams and foundations, If I rub even, a little bit more than necessary, I get that pilling texture on my skin, which I absolutely hate. So I noticed that this on its own works great. So if I just do a very thin layer of this and maybe a very thin layer of foundation with the makeup brush specifically, I can get away with a decent application. However, if I'm using my hands, if I'm working this into my skin a lot more than like thoroughly and then apply foundation, I get pilling. If I use this sunscreen with a moisturizer and then apply foundation, I also get pilling. And so that was the most challenging thing for me. I found that I don't want to reach for this sunscreen if I'm trying to wear makeup that day, because just the texture and the evenness on my skin, the pilling is really gets in the way. My makeup doesn't look the same. It doesn't act the same. It kind of takes away from the longevity of the foundation that I use when I apply this on before. And so that really deterred me from using this a whole bunch. If you are just looking to wear this on its own, I think that you will be pretty happy. It doesn't feel heavy or greasy. It does stay on your skin fairly well. The finish remained fairly consistent throughout the day. I would say that if you're oily, you will probably get a little bit of that shiny, oily complexion. I didn't get a white cast from this because this is a mineral sunscreen. That's a huge problem with a lot of mineral products. However, for me, I even tried to do a couple of flash photography photos, and I didn't find that it was very bad, if noticeable at all. So if you're wearing this on your own, I think you'll be pretty happy. However, if you're trying to layer this with other creams, skincare, foundations, you're more than likely going to run into some issues with pilling, and just the way that this product blends with other makeup and skincare products. So would I recommend this Beauty of Joseon Daily Tinted Fluid Sunscreen? Again, I think yes, especially if you are looking to only wear this as your primary product and you're not looking to mix it with any other makeup products. If you're looking for lightweight, everyday sun protection, this will be a great product for you. If you like a natural skin-like finish, if you want sheer coverage that just barely evens out your skin tone, if you want a really easy one-step morning routine, you will probably be a fan of this. However, if you prefer more fuller coverage, medium to full coverage, if you want a very dewy, kind of a refreshed finish, you will probably want to look elsewhere. Also, with this being kind of a misnomer with being just a mineral sunscreen, I think those that are looking for exclusively that mineral protection, because of some of the other ingredients that this product contains, it's not truly an only mineral sunscreen. There's other ingredients in it that act like your chemical sunscreens. So it's a bit tricky, a little bit deceiving, dare I say it, but overall a decent product. For me, it didn't make sense to wear this. It's a product that kind of gives me a hard time every time I try to layer it with other skincare and foundation and makeup products. So I also really wanted that purely mineral filter with no chemical sunscreen ingredients. And unfortunately, I found out after the fact that this actually has chemical sunscreen ingredients that help with that UV protection. So that's kind of a negative for me. But overall, I think this is an interesting product that has its place for a certain group of people that are looking for that specific type of product. If you have used this product, please let me know how your experience was, if you liked it, if you have had good luck in, mixing it with other skincare products and foundations. I'm really curious if this worked better for other people. Thank you so much for tuning in. Don't forget to like, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you in the next review.